Welcome back to another episode of Grizzly Books True Crime. My name is Gisela K, and today we're just going to be quickly looking at Cassie Laundries' initial interview, her updated interview, as well as an interview with the Northport Police. So, let's get started. Okay, so let me put it on screen for you. Let's start with this interview over here.
In an exclusive interview with ABC, Cassie Laundries says she hasn't spoken to her brother since he returned to their...
Pay attention. The lady said that Cassie said she hadn't spoken to her brother since he returned. Okay?
Parents' home in Florida.
I haven't been able to talk to him. I wish I could talk to him.
Laundries says she's told police everything she knows about her brother, Brian Laundrie, and his fiancée, Gabby Petito, and their cross-country road trip.
I've cooperated every way that I can. I wish I had information or I would give more. This is all I have is I gave to the police.
Petito's father says he...
Okay, so we know about that one. We know that. I just want to see, I think there was just a slight bit more here.
None of that matters.
Me and my family want Gabby to be found safe. She's like a sister and my children love her. And all I want is for her to come home safe and sound and this to be just a big misunderstanding.
You know, I know at that point, which I think was on the 17th of September, of course she would hope that I really hope this is just a big misunderstanding. What this makes me think is how... well, Brian Laundrie is able to dissociate from what he did or from what he allegedly did. I still have to say that at this point, but from leaving Gabby behind, taking a van and driving home. Like, the fact that he was acting so normal around his family made them, or especially Cassie, feel like, I don't know what's going on, but I really hope it's a big misunderstanding. But here, of course, the media believed that she had not spoken to her brother at all since he returned. Now we know that she actually had because she went camping with him, right? So let's look at the latest interview here.
No, I do not know where Brian is. I'd turn him in.
Overnight, Cassie Laundries attempting to set the record straight, speaking out for the first time since Gabby Petito's body was found and her brother Brian was reported missing. Later named a person of interest in Petito's murder and wanted by the FBI in a fraud investigation.
I really wish he had come to me first that day with the van because I don't think we'd be here. I worry about him. I hope he's okay. And then I'm angry and I don't know what to think. I would tell my...
Okay, but he did go to her house. Did he, you heard that?
I don't think we'd be here.
Petito's murder and wanted by the FBI in a fraud investigation.
I really wish he had come to me first that day with the van.
But he did. He dropped the van off at home and they all went in the Mustang to her house. Unfortunately, he did. He went to your house. And then you all planned a camping trip.
And because I don't think we'd be here. I worry about him. I hope he's okay. And then I'm angry and I don't know what to think. I would tell my brother to just come forward and get us out of this horrible mess.
And now detailing the last time she saw her brother.
The last time I physically saw it and the last time I physically spoke to my brother was on the 6th. I've tried to...
Physically saw and physically spoke to, which of course cans out the whole first interview because you physically spoke to him on the 6th for the last time. So between the 1st and the 6th, you spoke to him, you saw him, and the last time that you physically saw him and physically spoke to him was the 6th. But that she said physically twice, emphasizing the word physically, which means she could be in contact with him right now. I'm not saying she is, I'm speculating. In my opinion, if someone says, the last time I physically saw him and the last time I physically spoke to him, yeah, it was on the 6th. Okay, so how are you seeing him or speaking to him now? That would be my question. You know?
To get in touch with him, phone went to voicemail.
Cassie sharing this photo exclusively with ABC News, showing Brian and his 5-year-old nephew camping at Fort DeSoto Park with their parents 5 days before Gabby was reported missing.
We just went for a couple of hours and we ate dinner and had s'mores around the campfire and left. And there was nothing peculiar about it. There was.
Why? Because Gabby was living with them for over a year. She was living with them for a year. Why is there nothing peculiar about it? I'm not trying to attack Cassie. I'm just thinking of all the information we're receiving. And I'm just like, how was it possible that there was nothing peculiar about it? That Brian was acting so normal, which is scary to think about. Acting as if there was absolutely nothing going on. What? And to say there was nothing peculiar about it. Really? You didn't wonder? What makes me think that maybe Brian and Gabby broke up a lot before and stayed apart a lot before. For this to be nothing peculiar. Just another old fight, another misunderstanding. But yet this time it wasn't like that. But it is sickening to think that, of course, the parents knew that Brian came home with the van without Gabby. And then they planned a camping trip. Like, that is just not normal. You know? I'm able to step in someone's shoes, right? And really think how they think and be like, okay. So if my son comes home with a van that him and his fiance had built together and we're going on this van life trip, really? You're going to plan a camping trip? See, there I can't. I can usually think about it and be like, all right, well, that makes sense. But this doesn't make sense to me. Planned a camping trip. It's just so shady. It is so shady.
There's no feeling of grand goodbye.
If that really is a picture from him that day, which it seems to be possibly based on the size of the kids, right? We saw the picture from before, the 5-year-old out there with Brian covered in the bandana. So the kid on the right-hand side looks same size, right? So I'm basing it on that because kids grow quick, you know? I don't have any of my own. I only got a cat and a hamster. I like it that way. But kids grow quick, okay? So that makes me think that this could be. This is what Cassie submitted. This is photos from that trip. And it looks like new board shorts because I've never seen him in any pictures wearing these shorts, huh? And to think that this is how he's smiling and behaving and what he's doing, it's scary.
There was nothing. I'm frustrated that in hindsight I didn't pick up on anything. It was...
What? Just remember, focus on Brian. Focus on Melon Boy. This makes me think that he was having such a good time, s'mores around the campfire, acting so chill, that he was able to be that chilled around his family, especially around his sister, to the point where they don't think anything suspicious is going on. Oh, wow. Or that they all know, you know. They're either all the same, or maybe some of the family really just didn't know because he acts so freaking cool, and so do the parents, of course.
Just a regular visit.
By the time Gabby was found, 13 days later, Brian had already vanished. The day Cassie learned of his disappearance, she says she immediately told investigators about that camping trip.
It was not hidden from law enforcement. I've been cooperating with the police since day one. I have been in touch with law enforcement.
And now she's calling on her parents to do the same.
Justice.
Also, the jersey's scratchy, man. I hate scratchy jerseys, but I do like this jersey, just in case. I don't have hives, okay? Got some scratchy jersey on.
For Gabby would look like having someone come forward and tell the truth. I don't know if my parents are involved. I think if they are, then they should come clean.
Cassie'S.
I just find it interesting. She says, I don't know if my parents are involved. If they are, they should come clean. It just makes me feel like, no, I would possibly say, no, my parents would never be involved if you know them that well. But the way that she talks about her parents, it makes me think that, like, she thinks they could be capable of that. Right.
He says her brother has taken multiple trips for up to 5 days at a time on the Appalachian Trail, where multiple tips have been reported. And over the weekend,
up to 5 days at a time. That's what Cassie says, which is also contradictory, of course, to what Brian wants everyone to believe, that he stayed there for months and months. And Rose said that Brian stayed out there for months and months, which makes me wonder, because Rose was only friends with Gabby for 2 years. And one of those years, Gabby was living with Brian and them. So at what point did Brian stay out there for months and months? I don't think he did. I mean, Cassie's saying he was out there for 5 days at a time and then returned home. That's also what Gabby's parents said. They'd go out there for 4 or 5 days, come back.
A possible sighting was reported to investigators along the nearly 2,200-mile trail near the Tennessee-North Carolina border.
I wasn't sure about what he looked like, and then I went and parked and pulled up the photographs of him, and I'm 99.99% sure that was him.
Police have said they're factoring in Brian's reported skills living off the grid in their search for him, but Cassie says it's unusual for him to be gone for this long.
I'd say Brian's a mediocre survivalist.
See, that I like about Cassie. You say it, Cassie. He's a mediocre survivalist. If he's really out there, I honestly, and I don't want to say it because I don't want it to be the outcome, but I think he would be dead by now. No. Like all his fantasies, the books he read, things like that. Sure, it's a lot like what he wanted it to be, but still you're going to have to face grizzly bears and other animals and just survive. Where's the food coming from? At the end of the day, the biggest problem he'd have right now is friggin' calories. Where's your food coming from? You know?
It wouldn't surprise me if he could last out there a very long time. But also, I don't think anything would surprise me at this point. If the FBI
Right? Nothing would surprise us at this point either.
finds him in Timbuktu, I'd be like, all right, well, that's where he was. I've got nothing. I hope my brother is alive because I want answers just as much as everybody else.
Is there something on your cheek here?
Right? It's just interesting how she's like, if the FBI says, yep, he was in Timbuktu, then I'd be like, oh, well, that's where he was. That is a very strange thing to say because it's like, oh, well, that's where he was. It makes me think again that he's a little bit of a problem child, that they're all kind of eye rolling like, oh, no, Brian, what is he doing? You know what I mean? I feel like he might be like really embarrassing, of course, to the family and like, oh, no, Brian in one of his episodes again. Right, which they've sort of implied. Rose implied that too. So did Cassie. So I don't know how well Rose really knew Brian. I don't know. But she knew enough to tell us that he was jealous and controlling. So that's what we need to know from that. But mediocre survivalist, but then contradicts that by saying, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he lived out there for quite a long time. Why would you not be surprised? Because he is a mediocre survivalist. She just said it. That means he's not going to survive out there for months and months. I don't believe he would. I don't think so. So that still makes me think that he's in some safe house or something like that somewhere. It's also interesting that the attorney is a real estate attorney and not a criminal defense attorney, meaning if the FBI finds him, or maybe they know where he is already, we don't know. But if the FBI finds him, you're going to need to lawyer up even more. You can't have a real estate attorney defending you in this case. This is a big case. Weird, right? Anyway, I think that's it for Cassie. Wait, let's see.
Just be upset. It was pretty.
I understand if he hit you, but we want to know the truth if he actually hit you.
Sorry.
Well, like, he like grabbed me like with his nail.
She says the body cam video from the Moab, Utah police encounter is hard to watch.
It was definitely painful to see everybody just be upset. It was pretty typical of them to argue and try and take space from each other, but people saying they saw public domestic violence, I've never seen anything like that from either of them.
So when she says it's pretty common for them to fight and try to take space from each other, maybe that's what she meant with he usually flies back when? Or usually returns home. It's interesting. She said, yeah, he'll usually fly back when. Ooh, I don't want to say that. But maybe that's when they were trying to take space from each other. He would literally throw tantrums and go back to Mama's house, right? Even though Gabby was living there for a year. So I wonder how they took space then. Besides Gabby going to stay with Rose.
Now she wonders if more could have been done.
I definitely feel like if they had all of the 911 calls from the multiple people they said, that I think that it would have gone a lot differently and we'd be in a different situation.
Cassie says she's as concerned as she is for her brother. She is mourning for Gabby and wants her family to know her heart is with them.
I've been cooperating so that everyone gets answers. They deserve answers.
Gabby's parents sending a message to Brian on the Dr. Phil show.
If you truly loved her, you should turn yourself in.
Okay, I'm not throwing shade. I just found that statement just weird because if you truly loved her, you should turn yourself in. Like he obviously didn't if he left her out there like that. Nope, nope, no love there, no regard for her whatsoever. Right, so that's what we have there. And then the one I wanted to show you today was this one-on-one with Northport Police, which is a bit odd. It's a bit odd because the FBI is the lead on the case. So why is the Northport Police talking out now? I think they're trying to do damage control, but at this point, I don't know if it's helping. Let's see what they say.
I was here when the police chief had the press conference and said, we have our eyes on Brian Laundrie, we know where he is, and we're not going to tell the media, but we know where he is. And then I think it was the next day that suddenly he was missing. I mean, how did that happen?
Well, I think you have a situation where you're working on intelligence, you're working on the best that you have. And I think what I'll tell you is that at no time did we make, we weren't lying. We weren't trying to say something to anybody. We were holding that press conference to be transparent about what was going on. I mean, and what would be in our benefit to say that if we thought it wasn't true? No investigation's perfect.
Was he under surveillance? I mean, did you have eyes on him?
What I'll say to that is that we were doing everything within the law that we could with the facts and the circumstances that were at that time.
Do you have any idea how he got
Okay. Interesting.
away?
What I'll say is that that is a consistent, something that we're working to figure out as far as.
I like how he says, what I'll say is. Right. Interestingly, I mean, a lot of people have done some deep dives, okay? As I said, I've got hundreds of emails per hour, just so you know. I try my best to look at some, in case there's some really good tip-offs in there, okay? But it's a lot. But what I want to say is, a lot of you have been deep diving the remove the vehicle note that was on the car at the Mustang, saying that would only happen after 5 days, which is, when I look into it, that is how that is. So if the car was brought back on the Wednesday, which I think was the 13th, right? Okay, then the car must have been there from the 9th. I'm just getting my calendar out here quick. I could also whip out my other calendar, but let's get this one out quick on my phone here. So, the car September, right? So Gabby was reported missing on the 11th. So for the car, or for Brian already to be missing from the 13th or on the run, if you take it 5 days back, he would have had to park the car there on the 9th. And they supposedly went camping on the 6th. It's quite sketchy. It's making me think about that Mustang. That Mustang, because they all went in the Mustang to Cassie's house on the 1st, right? And then you're telling me that by the 9th, the Mustang's parked there at the reserve? Interesting. Gabby was only reported missing from the 11th, and that's when all the media coverage really, really hyped up, right? Which to me feels like, what if the brother-in-law or Cassie or whatever put the Mustang there? I don't know. I'll have to relook at the timeline there. But it's interesting that the car should have speculatively been there from the 9th to get that note. He was going missing from the 13th, and then by the 15th, they're removing the car. So even if we take it from the 15th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it means on the 11th, he parked the car there. On the day that Gabby was reported missing. If we take it from the day the Mustang was back in the parents' driveway, which was the Wednesday, the 15th. That means on the 11th, the car must have been put there to get that note to remove the car. Interesting, right? Okay.
As far as how we got away, I don't even know how to answer that.
Well,
Why? We want to know how we got away. I like how he's like, I don't even know how to answer that. How he got away. Well, how did he get away? I like how it just makes me go, what does this dude know that he doesn't want to say?
I mean, if he was staying with his parents at the house and I was out there were a lot of police outside the house a lot of the time.
Why didn't you see him?
I like that whole confrontational. Why didn't you see him? You were out there, dude, as a protester, weren't you? You were out there. Why didn't you see him? I like that deflection he did there. I'm still going,
I didn't see him, and I was out there. Police were out there. I mean, we've heard stories. Could he have gone out a back door? Could he have, run through a yard? I mean, do you have any idea?
Yeah, no. I think certainly what the family has told us is that he drove out to the park and walked out into the woods. I think that is certainly on the table.
Do you believe the family at this point? Is there reason to not believe them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, everything that I've learned and we figured out is I don't know necessarily what to believe anymore. I think it's certainly possible that they're expressing what they know, but we'll see. I mean, this is an ongoing investigation that will continue to evolve.
I think it's an ongoing legal battle to really pin Brian conclusively to that murder or maybe more murders. That's my personal opinion, is this is an ongoing investigation and a way to legally convict him. His parents know how to work the law. They're definitely working the justice system in their favor. And they are way too calm. Way too calm. Either they don't care about their son at all, or they're just way too calm because they know he's safe, wherever that may be.
And, I think you saw yesterday the family was out there helping in the search. I think,
A day after the drone footage, the dad is out there at the Carlton Reserve looking for his son. Where are you? Really? Are we supposed to believe that? Like, damn, the dad has joined the search 3.5 weeks later or 3 weeks later. Wow. That's how I would say that. Wow. That is so heroic. Amazing. You went out there the day after everyone saw you guys acting really friggin' shady with your little herb garden. And the next day you're out there in your truck, laughing it up with the FBI. And yes, that agent really looks like Brian. Have you guys seen that? That's weird. Anyway.
It's a sign of them trying to work with investigators, so I hope that is, the beginning to maybe more of what they know.
Is it though? Is it a sign to work with investigators? What, to make it look like they're searching for him? I'm sure they know. I think the parents know where he is. That's why they're not talking. If they didn't know where he is, they would have already made a press statement of, well, they said made a press statement. They would have made a public appearance to be like, we don't know where our son is. Can you please help? This is a terrible tragedy. We can't believe what happened to Gabby. We don't know where our son is. Please, can you help us? They're not asking anybody for help. Nobody. They don't need no help at all. Think about that. So the statement they made saying, we don't know where Brian is. But did you ask for help? No. Like, you don't care. Like, because I think you know where he is.
Is there anything more you can share with the Mustang situation? Because so many people are confused that he drove in the Mustang and then his parents would go get the Mustang and bring it back without him. I mean, it doesn't really make sense in some ways.
No, I agree with that. I mean,
a lot of this case makes zero sense. And that is why it is like, what? And why are we all sitting here figuring it out? Because it's like, wait, what? This is absolutely abnormal behavior. As Dr. Grundy said, I liked his coverage of this case. He summed it up real nice, but he's just like, sometimes the words he uses, it's too funny. But it's just like, there's a very low probability of this ever happening. So we don't have the data. That's what he's saying. We can't say in 80% of these cases, this and this happened. We don't have that. This is brand new data. And we're all trying to figure it out together. Like, wait, what? Yeah.
And so we've said from the beginning, there's a lot of oddness here. A lot of things that just didn't make sense.
A lot of and a lot of Damn.
I mean, if your son walks out there, now they're saying on a Monday, you know, to report that on a Friday, and then be confused on what day that was. I mean, there's a lot of things that are odd there.
Based on what you do know, do police believe that Brian Laundrie is still alive?
It's possible. I certainly think that it would not surprise me if he is. It wouldn't surprise me if he's not.
Is it 50?
That's a great way to deflect from an actual answer. Obviously, it wouldn't surprise anyone if he was or wasn't. I get it. But sometimes when people try to avoid the question, they're going to say the most obvious probabilities. Well, it wouldn't surprise me if he was, and wouldn't surprise me if he wasn't. It's 50-50 for me, so yep. I think this dude knows more than what we think he knows. You know what I mean?
50 in your mind? Do you have an inkling one way or the other?
I mean, I guess if we had to put odds on it, I would say that that's probably pretty close. You know, I think I don't want to. We've gotten in a little bit of an issue by thinking we knew something, you know, and I just don't know that it does any good to say, oh, I think he's alive or dead. I think it's certainly possible one way or the other.
So interesting to hear police say that right now. They think it's basically 50-50 whether or not Brian Laundrie is dead or alive. They were pretty forthcoming with many things in that interview. Other things they told us they couldn't talk about because of the FBI. And you have to imagine there's a lot that police know, obviously, that they're not putting out to the public.
Right. It struck me, Brian, he just said a lot of oddness. I mean, you can clearly tell in his hesitation to even answer your questions, he's thinking about what he can share, but clearly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was. It's like, what I'm going to say is...
Really just a lot of holes that we all agree just don't add up at this point. So I wonder if the FBI right now is in control of the investigation, what role is Northport Police playing in all of this, if any?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. So the FBI is definitely in control. They are the lead agency. They're controlling everything. I asked that question today, and I was told that Northport PD does have a seat at the table. That's how they described it. And I can tell you, at least here in Northport, and with the search at the reserve, it is mostly Northport police officers who are out there actually conducting the search, obviously, though, under the command of the FBI.
What's happening with that search today? Were you able to get out there? Were they as busy as they were in the last day?
Not as busy as what we've seen in past days, at least from what we could see. I mean, you have to remember it's 24,000 acres, so it's hard to keep track of exactly what they're doing, but it does not appear there was as much going on there today. And we know that the Laundries, Christopher Laundrie, was not out at the reserve today.
The other thing, Brian.
Of course not. It was just showmanship, right? Sorry for this little dot in the corner here. It's from my green screen. There you go.
And we keep hearing is these multiple sightings of Brian Laundrie, whether it's in North Carolina. Today, I read as far away as Montana. Are they saying anything about these sightings and how they're going about investigating them?
Well, Northport Police today said again that none of the sightings have been confirmed at all. We know that they are investigating because Dennis, the hiker, the one along the Appalachian Trail, told me yesterday that he had a 45-minute interview with the FBI in person. So they're obviously taking these situations seriously, but nothing confirmed so far.
Real quick, Brian, before I let you go, I know you've been in touch with the Laundrie family attorney. Any updates from him tonight?
No real updates from him. I mean, he did confirm to us that there were no plans at this point for Christopher Laundrie to go back out to the reserve and help with the search at this point. But that's really been the latest from the attorney today.
Why? Wow, you went for one day. These poor police officers, that must be one of the worst jobs to have right now. Oh my word, going out there every day, probably for show. You know what I mean? They might know more. I don't think all the police officers will know, but the FBI knows obviously more. I just think it could be a whole deflection thing, or they're trying to find a weapon to really pin the murder. If it was committed with a weapon, speculatively. Let's say if speculatively there's a gun involved. Trying to find the gun. You know what I mean? That's what it could be, or the phones, or the anything. I don't think he's in the reserve. Do you think he is in the reserve? I should do this in a live stream so I can see you guys vote. Do you think he's there? Because I don't think so. No. I think he's in some kind of legal loophole, real estate safe house or something that right now, without conclusive evidence that they, you know, that they're looking for the evidence. That's what I think they're doing in the reserve. And he's in some kind of safe place, you know, doing his thing and knowing you can't touch me because of the law. Legal system, not justice system. Although it's innocent till proven guilty. I understand that too. So I think that's what the battle's about, proving guilt. If he even is guilty, but damn, his behavior afterwards. I've heard a lot of theories, but I'm like, but then what he did, like if he witnessed someone doing something to Gabby, right? And then freaked out and what? Hitchhiked? Or got dropped off. I still think he got dropped off at Colter Bay Village. I don't know how yet, but somebody dropped him off. So if he got dropped off there and it's like, I'll pay you $200 or anything just to get back to Jackson or to go to Jackson. Okay. And then you hitchhiking your way back, get back to the van, get in the van and start driving home. But then also stop along the way for some pizza, of course. Interesting. That behavior. And then getting home, quick change and shower. I'm assuming. Maybe he didn't shower at all. Maybe he's like a Richard Ramirez, smelling like a goat. I don't know. But then to get in the Mustang and go and surprise Cassie's kids, hang out at Cassie's house on the 1st. Those actions, man. And then camping on the 6th. Even then driving the Mustang out. How? How did no one see that? I don't get it. What's also weird in the timeline is neighbors seeing him running down the street on, I think, the 17th. No, was it the 17th? Yeah, I think it was on the 17th. When they were protesting. I think it was on Friday the 17th, which is when the parents were like, oh, no, he's gone. He's been missing since Tuesday. I think it was that Friday that the neighbors said they saw him running down the street. If it was him, but speculatively. That's also interesting. Like, what in the hell? Who's really driving the Mustang there and who's driving it back? Because the only thing that will make sense in my mind is Cassie and her husband or her husband only or whoever. Someone from that side driving the Mustang to Carlton Reserve and leaving it there. And then the parents picking it up 5 days later. Because it's also weird that they're like, well, he said he was going out there, but then we went there and we saw he left a note. He didn't leave a note according to what I've read now. Meaning they'd calculated, wait 5 days and then go fetch the car. Do you know what I mean? It's all very calculated. So that's odd. Let me just take this off for a second. I just want to show you one more thing. Which I think is here. Did you see how the Laundries also removed Gabby's memorial last night? That was quite something to see. Hold on one second. Damn, I'm not logged in now. Hold on. Laundries. Man, where's that footage now? I will show you later then. Don't worry about it. I'll make more videos and things. But they literally, you know, the memorial, they actually placed a little makeshift memorial, right, for Gabby Petito outside the Laundries home. They put flowers there and they put a picture of Gabby and it says, remember me. Like, in the middle of the night, there were also a lot of laundry baskets on the lawn. In the middle of the night, they came charging out there, picked up all the laundry baskets, ripped that picture of Gabby out of the ground and took it in. Like, that was quite something, hey. That was quite something. I want to show you, so if you could just hang in there. Let's do a quick commercial break, shall we? Just a quick one. If you like my content and would like to say thank you, the easiest way to do that is, of course, to buy a copy of any one of my books or to buy me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/Gisela K, which I'll link below for you. Thank you so much for listening. My bad, I'm back. Sorry for the Zodiac slide there. I'm back. I've got to find this one thing for you. I've got it here somewhere. Right here. Yes. Here we go. Wait, let's put it on for you. It's very dark, okay, because it's nighttime.
You guys feel guilty about Gabby? Is there a reason the FBI thinks you're not telling the truth?
Look at all the laundry baskets. Someone would.
Do you know where Brian's passport is? Do you have anything to say about Gabby? A lot of the neighbors think you guys know more than you're saying. They're dropped off the sign. They want you to know that they're concerned that you guys know more than you're saying.
Taking out that mail. Oh man. Checking the mailbox, you know, taking out the laundry baskets. Hope they donate that somewhere. What are they going to do with all those laundry baskets? My goodness. And then taking Gabby's picture out of the ground like that. I mean, it was taken like, like it wasn't even like gently taken. It was just like, take this out of here. Why? Why are you behaving like this? I don't get it. It's as if they think what? The way they're behaving is like, no, this is a problem. Like, take this out of here. Why? Why would you not want people to pay tribute? Let's say, I know it's your property and your lawn, but it's Gabby's picture and there's like flowers and stuff. Why are you ripping that out the ground and picking up all the things? It's a bit odd. To me, it seems like a bit of a rage response. That's all I'm going to say. Wow. Can you believe that? Wow. So, that's it for now. Yesterday, Sunday, I did not produce a video. I actually took some time, you know, to read, to go outside, to think a little bit. It was quite nice. So, yeah, I will be back soon. I've got lots of interviews coming up as well on this channel. I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. Please treat all the guests with kindness. Encourage them, say nice things. They would love to see that. I've got tonight, we're depending on when you watch this would be Monday. Is today the 11th? Yes, of October. Damn, time flies. 11th of October. I'm going to be talking about domestic violence for Domestic Violence Awareness Month with Diana Dessau, social worker for more than 20 years who has specialist insight into DV. And then on Wednesday, I've got Lieutenant Peter Pronzo on the show, which I'm so excited about. And then on Thursday or Friday, I've got Joe Murray on the show. If you don't know who Joe Murray is, go check out Police Off the Cuff. He features a lot on that show as well. Retired NYPD detective and now an attorney. Yes, so he'll be on here sharing his thoughts. I want to ask him some thoughts on this case and, you know, if there's any legal loopholes or ways that they could be harboring a fugitive. Things like that, just legal type questions, right? So that is coming up as well. We've got some other exciting guests coming up in the future. I'm very excited for the channel, the way that you guys, look at you guys, 28,747 Grizzlies. Thank you so much. And your guys' messages are the sweetest. Oh my word. That community post I made and your encouragement and the things you said, it is overwhelmingly amazing. Also, yes, thank you so much for the coffees. This is one of my favorite mugs as well. It's like a leopard mug. I really like this mug. It's like jungly. You can see I like jungle stuff and forest, right? So thank you so much to everyone who has bought me a coffee, which this month is Buy Me a Whiskey, just for fun, you know, spooky season, October. And yeah, to help me, you know, calm the nerves. I feel pretty calm. I'm very excited. Love this channel. I think this is what I'm meant to do. So I'm going to keep this rolling for a long time. And yes, this is the blah, blah, blah at the end, okay? If you are just here for the info, then bye. Now it's time for the little bit of waffle. So thank you for the coffees. Thank you for the PayPals. Thank you for the super chats and super stickers. And thank you to all the members who have joined. I am so sorry that I structured the membership tiers in a way that wasn't conducive to success for this sized channel, because I didn't realize that it's membership is quite contactless. It's not like, it doesn't work like Patreon. on YouTube. Of course, this is new for me. I've never had YouTube membership, so I've watched a lot of videos and things, but I was learning, okay? It's a learning curve. I know you guys appreciate it when I humbly and vulnerably share things of like, damn, that was a learning curve. So I'm sorry about those higher tiers being completely unrealistic on my part. I have a very big heart, and I always want to like give something really special, like with the top tiers giving out parcels and things, right? That was what I was going to do. But with the amount of people that were signing up for that, that's unsustainable. I'll be painting and making parcels all day and no videos. So I've restructured the membership tier. Most of you who were on those tiers have it sorted out. You've got your emails and everything. Thank you so much for understanding and for supporting what I do. And yes, those people are still going to get their parcels anyway. So that is what I've been working on this weekend as well. So I'm excited to send that out today. And what else can I thank you guys for? Just thank you for watching, for subscribing. If you are not yet subscribed, become an OG by just for free hitting that subscribe button and the bell. It's super simple. Just click, and then you're supporting me already. Just by watching this, you're supporting me. So thank you so much. As usual, leave your comments below. I know you guys are sending me emails and things with all your thoughts. I would want to say that some of you need to start your own YouTube channel. If I can do it, you can do it. Because some of you deep dive so hard that you need to start your own channel, you know. It's difficult for me to see such a mountain of information and absorb it and then put it out myself, you know what I mean? You need to start your own YouTube channel. And that would be so much easier for me to also consume, to see it, to be like, ah, yes, good thinking, you know what I mean? I'm telling you, if I can do it, you need OBS, a fold-up green screen, 2 ring lights. I probably want to get another one for the front. This that you see that? That's from my lamp. When you say there's a mark on me, it's from my lamp, but it makes my face all lit up. Look how much nicer that is. Damn glasses. But I do like the glasses. Always wanted them. So I'm probably going to get another ring light for the front though. But you need 2 or 3 ring lights, a fold-up green screen, and OBS, which is free, and then just watch videos to learn how to use OBS. And you need a microphone and a webcam or a camera. That's it. You can start your own YouTube channel. I believe in you. Come on. I see some of you saying, you know, I've inspired you to do something like that or to start something of your own. Please do it. Do it. I encourage you so much. Yes, and thank you in any case for supporting me. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. And yeah, looking forward to read through all your comments. As you know, I can't respond to all of them. Definitely not. And that, I don't even know. I shouldn't even explain that because obvious. I think you guys know. It's like, you know, it's getting stupid to be like, I can't do it because obviously it's me that has to catch up with the growth of this channel. You know, I think you guys know, like, okay, obviously. But I've had to process this because it happened so fast. If we look at where I was, it was 3 weeks ago. That's crazy. 3.5 weeks ago, I went on a bicycle ride and I had this vision for how I wanted my channel to be. I really visualized it. I saw it happening and I'm like, I am going to be a successful YouTuber and I'm going to put my heart and soul into this and really go for it. And okay, universe, you really responded there, huh? It was like, all right, here we go. And then within a month, we went from, so within a month, it's from 658. I remember the number because I lost 6 subscribers that day and I couldn't understand, like, why do people do that? Why do they unsubscribe? You know, I was like, it feels like 10 steps forward, 1 back, 10 forward, 1 back. Well, damn, after cycling in the Netherlands, visualizing, talking to myself, meditating on it. Whoa, powerful stuff. Like 1 month later, look where we are. 28,747 at the time of making this video. Wow, guys, you have exceeded my expectations. Thank you for your support. I will see you in the next video. Lots of things coming up. Of course, when I've got interviews, I'm a very focused person, which is what you like about me, I think. That's what you tell me. When I have someone, a guest on the show, I definitely focus a lot of my attention on that guest, on their background, the books they wrote, things they want to say, and to come up with really compelling questions as well. That takes a lot of work too. So just know I'm still producing this content, but we've got some guests coming up as well. So some of the days my attention is going to go to the guests because they deserve that, you know, like to have the best time on the best show. I want them to have the best experience, to think it's the best show they've ever been on, and to come back, you know. I really care about every single guest that's on the show, and I want them to experience it as something really great, to walk away feeling like that was really great, and to walk away feeling proud of themselves. You know, that's what I wanted when I first did an interview, which was with Police Off the Cuff. I really prepared, again, meditated, sat on the balcony, sipped a whiskey for the nerves, you know, looked at the moon and like, whoo, I can do this. I can do this. It was really like, I got this and I want to put my best self out there, you know, and I feel like they facilitated a great show for me to be on. So it inspired me so much. I walked away from that interview so inspired that I started this channel. You see? So that is what I want to offer to the guests. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I'm done rambling now. I'm going to finish my coffee over here. I'm going to the post office now also to send out these parcels that I have. I'm looking down because they're right there. I don't want to show you them because I want the people that are receiving these to be really, really surprised and love what I put in there for them. So I'm going to do that and then I'll be back later. See you later. Thank you for watching.